Alright, in this video tutorial I'm going to show you how to make a musical influence collage, such as this one here, which I did based on my husband's interest, who likes older music. So these came from 3 separate photos and they sort of just blended together. So I used a different background. So first of all, you're going to need 4 photos. First, you're going to search for a photo of that you can use as a background, as I have here. To find this one, I just Googled organic textured backgrounds and I found this one. So you can see in my search, I've got organic background image, and that's how I found that one. Once you've got your background image saved to a place that you're not going to forget, open it up in your Photoshop. You will also need to look for 3 other images of artists that you enjoy listening to, and make sure again that you save those on your computer, a place that you won't forget. So I have them on my desktop just for now. Alright, so once you have those 4 images and your background loaded, we're going to begin. So we're going to start by going up in Photoshop. We're going to go to File and we want to choose Place for the location, and again I have them on my desktop, so I'll start with the first one. I have Ed Sheeran, so I'm going to select him and press Place. Alright, there it is, and I can resize how large I want it to be. And I can move them again later as well. So we're going to press Enter on our keyboard to finalize and make sure that that gets placed. And then those lines sort of go away. Now we can see over in our layers here, what we want to do is we want to right click on that layer and we want to choose rasterize layer. Now we're going to use one of the selection tools, so whichever one you're most familiar with, to select the area surrounding him. So I generally choose the quick selection tool, and I'm just going to click and get all of that selection. And I think I will even include this microphone. Now I'm just going to delete that space between his legs, so I want to use the Control on a Windows. I am on a Mac, so I want to use the Alt Option key. Oops, too much. There we go. And looks like I have a bit of the stage as well, so I'm just going to tidy that up a little bit in there. And maybe that little space there. So that should have the majority of it. I can go down in this corner here and I might just zoom in to make sure that I've got all of that. Oops. Make sure I've got the little knobs on his guitar as well. Oh, and I don't want all that. Takes a little bit of fine tuning. That looks good enough for me. Zoom back out to where I was. Oops, not 450. Perfect. Okay. Now what I want to go do is I want to go up to select and I want to inverse that. So it's not selecting what's inside of him, it's actually going to be selecting all of the background. And I want to delete. I should be able just to hit the backspace, delete. There we go. So that now has deleted all of the background that was on the original photo. And now we can press Control D to deselect those marching ants, or I could have gone up here as well and chose that deselect. So basically we want to repeat that now with the other two musicians, and you can choose more if you like. So we're going to just go back to File and Place. I'm going to choose Shawn Mendes. I'm going to make them a little bit bigger here. And I can press Enter to place. And then remember that we need to right click and choose a rasterize layer. Okay, I'm still on my quick selection tool. So I want to just go around and highlight. Oops, I've done too much, but I'll come back and fix that in a second. Oops. A little difficult without my mouse. Alright, that guitar handle might not be perfect, but for the sake of this project, that's okay. Remember to go up to Select and inverse that selection and press the Delete or backspace on your keyboard. Oops, actually before I do that, I'm going to inverse again just because it looks like I've chopped half of his face off. Yeah, it's not going to be perfect, but whatever. Alright, so inverse that selection and press delete on your backspace, and then you can Control D to get rid of those marching ants, or just go up to select and deselect. Now you can always use the move tool, and if you decide that you want to move your characters around, so perhaps I want him over here, so it looks, since it looks like he's looking to the right, maybe he's looking over that way. Alright, I'm going to go and place my final image of, this time I have chosen Adele. That are waist high or knee high or whatnot. In a sense, it doesn't really matter. I could have her larger because it is just a collage. So press Enter to place that for now. Right click to rasterize that layer. Using a selection tool, select everything that is around. Oopsies. I got too fast. Okay. Oops, don't move it. Okay, I think I got all of her except I don't want that. Move it on there. So it's good practice at using your selection tool anyways. Okay, so once you've got your character, we go to select. We want to inverse that selection and hit the backspace, delete on your keyboard. And then we can deselect those margin ants. So now what we want to do is we want to improve the quality of some of these images. So I'll just start with, I suppose, Adele, since I'm on her right now. And we want to click on, sorry though, I want to just, there we go, I want to click on the adjustments there. So we're going to click on this one here that says levels. And then we're going to choose auto from this pop-up. Okay, that didn't necessarily do what I wanted it to. Oh, I know why, because I didn't press Control when I clicked on that. So I'm going to undo that. Let's just step back. Okay, so let's try that again. So I want to press Control click, I think. I don't know why I need to do that. It's interesting. Okay, so I'm on a Mac, so it'd be Command click. So I think because I want to get her perhaps highlighted, let's try that. Click on levels, yes. And now we're going to go auto. Because what I was looking for is this black outline or background around her. So now I want to click on the original layer again, and I want to go to the filter gallery. So I'm just going to minimize that for a sec. So we're going to go up to the filter and go into your filter gallery. Okay, and we're going to open up, you clicking on this arrow for the artistic one. So you can try different ones in here. Let's just click on watercolor here. That will make it look more hand painted. And you can see the effect that it's done on it. So you can, play around with different options to see which one you like. Don't mind that one. I'm going to try that one. Okay. So basically we're going to repeat that now with the other one. So again, we want yours is Control click on a Windows Command click your layer on a Mac so that you get those marching ants again. And then we want to click on that levels in your adjustments and click on auto. Now we're going to go back to our original layer and go up to the filter and go to the filter gallery. And then again, you can choose just a kind of blending option that you like. I might just be keeping them all the same, just because I like that film grain look. Just going to see what that one does. Yeah, I prefer the other one. So it's just a matter of playing around with, oopsies, filter gallery, the different options. So what I need to do actually is get rid of that. It's still applying the other one, so I'm just gonna step back and redo that. Okay, so I'm going to go into that filter gallery, and I'm just going to apply the film grain. All right, and last but not least, Ed Sheeran, same thing, control click. Oops, command click on a Windows. And then I want to go to my adjustment levels, choose auto. And then go back to my filter gallery. I'm going to stick with film grain. So that helps blend them a little bit. You can also choose blending mode from the drop down for each of their layers. So you can add different textures as well. So if I were to go to, let's see, so the drop-down menu is here. So right now I'm on him. I can click here and I can choose different options and see how that affects it too. Ooh, I kind of like the multiply. Anyways, I'll just pick some to make them blend so that I'm not spending too much time and you guys have a chance to play around with your ears as well. So I think I'll use the multiply on all three just because I like the way the pink blends in there nicely. Now you also can go in and add in a text so that you can say who these characters are. Even before that, actually, let's click on that top layer and let's just add a new layer above it by clicking that new layer next to the garbage can at the bottom. And in this one, we're going to go to, we're going to add a saturation to it. So in this one, we're going to click right here in that adjustments layer, and we're going to go to click on this one here, that in the middle, the left far one. So create a new hue saturation. And once that once we have that, you can play around with those sliders and see how that also affects your piece as well. So yeah, just helps blend things a little bit. Now, last but not least, I'm going to add one more layer on top. So I'm going to go again to add a new layer, and I'm going to use this layer for my text. So I'm going to use the T for text here, and I'm going to just write the names of these characters. Of course, my spinny wheel of death. It is time for a new computer. And finally, all right, so I'm just going to click where I want to write. And put it bit too high, so I'm just going to use the move tool to move that down. You can change your fonts too. For now, I'm just going to get their names in there. So if you do want to change the text, you need to be on the T, and you can highlight all of that text, and you can go into this drop down to change the style of it. So right now it's on rosewood. Let's just see what happens if I choose another one. That's fine. I'll go with that one. And now I want to move it again because it's much smaller. Put it right there. So you can have different fonts on the various names or keep them all the same. I'm going to probably just keep them the same. Which one was it again? I've already forgotten. But that's okay, close enough. All right, and last but not least, we'll add one more text over here. Ah, what did I just do? Undo that. Okay, I need one more layer for my last set of text. And then I'll just move that. And I'll move hers down here. So that is my final photo, which once you're done, you're going to turn into your Google Classroom. So make sure that you go to File, Save As. It's always a good idea to save the original format as a Photoshop, so make sure that you save that. So that you can turn that one in and also add it to your. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something new.